has processed that communication so that we know as perhaps sponsors of some of those bills what will be the process going forward afterwards, Mr. Speaker. And in conclusion, just one final thing, Mr. Speaker. I know that since the way of resolving this particular issue, perhaps maybe in the next few days or weeks, you would, by way of a communication, give us direction as a House with regards to what are the things that have been agreed on, because I had seen some fairly good proposals that I thought would move forward the legislative agenda of this current term of Parliament so that many bills are not stuck. Otherwise, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that ruling.
Thank you. That we'll be able to provide. We always discuss in House business, but we can also inform the entire House on where we are and the position. Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand as the Vice Chair for Agriculture to really thank you for that ruling and the direction that you're given on this confusion that was cropping in on the coffee bill. As a committee, the Speaker, you are getting very worried because I sit in another committee on ICT, and 2 years ago, Mr. Speaker, the same thing happened when the committee was in the process of dealing with the data protection bill. Even after receiving input from the ministry went behind our backs and introduced a similar bill through the National Assembly. And there was total confusion around this issue. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for that direction. And of that now, we will fast track the Senate bill. And if the ministry has any input on coffee that they think has been left out, or they have concerns on the bill as published by the committee, then they are at liberty to bring their input into the bill sponsored by the committee. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Musurve.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity. And allow me, Honorable Speaker, to also thank you equally for your communication. It is a communication that has come quite handy, Honorable Speaker. And as we are speaking about bills being taken by other organizations, Honorable Speaker, I want to report on the floor of this House that I've been going through a very tormenting moment this week and last week because of this issue, Honorable Speaker. For the same reason, there's the Kenya Sign Language Bill that was already, it came to the Senate, and because of concurrence issues, it was republished, Honorable Speaker, and it is awaiting to go through the various stages. But, Honorable Speaker, as you're speaking right now, there are organizations that have come up to purport that they have come up with a Kenya Sign Language Bill, and among them, we have NGEC, we have NAD, we have National Council of Persons with Disabilities, you have UPDK that have organized with other organizations to say that they've come up with a KSL bill. Honorable Speaker, as you can remember very well, that the sponsors of this bill is Professor Kamar and myself, and we brought it on the floor of the House, and actually it was moved, and Professor Kamar seconded very ably, and it got support of our fellow senators, Honorable Speaker. But as you're speaking now, it was validated last week by all these organizations purporting it has come up with it, and now they're also in Kisumu purporting to validate the same. Honorable Speaker, I think it is a good move that you've come up to really clearly tell the senators that you're protecting the works we do as committees, you're protecting the works we do as members, Honorable Speaker, because I remember there was a lot of input in this particular bill and support from the legal counsel, support from the researchers of the Senate, and now it has been published, and now organizations are purporting to actually say that they're the sponsors of the bill. Honorable Speaker, thank you for the intervention, and we really need the protection of yourself as the Speaker of the National Assembly, so that when a bill has been accepted here, when it goes to, it is purported to go to the National Assembly, you can talk to your fellow Speaker so that you can protect the members, Honorable Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Take your seat, Senator Kasanga. Take your seat. Leader, take your seat or you will stand for the rest. provide for the equitable division of revenue raised nationally between the national and county governments as required by Article 218 of the Constitution in order to facilitate the proper functioning of national and county governments and to ensure continuity of county services. And whereas the National Assembly considered the bill in all stages and passed it on Tuesday, March 23, 2021, without amendments in the form attached hereto, now, therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 110(4) of the Constitution and Standing Order 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby refer the said bill to the Senate for consideration. Honorable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order number 157, which requires that a bill which originates in the National Assembly be proceeded with by the Senate in the same manner as a bill introduced in the Senate by way of first reading in accordance with the Standing Order number 139, I now direct that the bill be read a first time today, Tuesday, 30th March 2021. I have another message on the passage of the Health Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 64 of 2019. Via a message dated Thursday, 18th March 2021, I received a message from the National Assembly pursuant to Standing Orders 41.1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders on the passage of the Health Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 64 of 2019. Honorable Senators, you will recall that following the High Court ruling on 29th October 2020 on the Constitutional Petition number 1284 of 2019, implementation of the judgment by the Senate commenced. Notably, the High Court ordered that all bills for which the concurrence process contemplated under Article 110(3) of the Constitution could not be demonstrated be ceased and that the said concurrence process be adhered to before introduction of such bills in either House of Parliament. The Honorable Senators, the Health Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 64 of 2019 was one such bill for which the concurrence process pursuant to Article 110(3) of the Constitution could not be demonstrated by the time the High Court gave its judgment. As such, the bill ought to be aligned to Article 110(3) of the Constitution, following which the bill will be read a first time in the Senate. In view of the foregoing, the Health Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 64 of 2019, as received from the National Assembly via the message dated Thursday, 18th March 2021, will not be proceeded with in the Senate. I thank you. Okay. Take a seat. I'm still, there's one. There's one more. I have one more message. Passage of the National Youth Council Amendment Bill, a National Assembly Bills number 8 of 2019. The Public Service Values and Principles Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 17 of 2019, and the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 65 of 2019. Pursuant to Standing Orders 41.1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I received a message from the National Assembly on the passage of the following bills. 1. Message from the Speaker of the National Assembly dated Thursday, 8th October 2020, regarding the passage by the National Assembly of the National Youth Council Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 8 of 2019. 2. Message from the Speaker of the National Assembly dated Thursday, 8th October 2020, regarding the passage by the National Assembly of the Public Service Values and Principles Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 17 of 2019. And 3. Message from the Speaker of the National Assembly dated Thursday, 5th November 2020, regarding the passage by the National Assembly of the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment Bills, National Assembly Bill number 65 of 2019. Honorable Senators, you will recall that following the High Court ruling on 29th October 2020, on Constitutional Petition number 284 of 2019, implementation of the judgment by the Senate commenced. Notably, the High Court ordered that all bills for which the concurrence process contemplated under Article 110(3) of the Constitution could not be demonstrated be ceased and the said concurrence processes be adhered to before introduction of such bills in either House of Parliament. Honorable Senators, the National Youth Council Amendment Bill, Bills number 8 of 2019, the Public Service Values and Principles Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 17 of 2019, and the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 65 of 2019, were among the bills for which the concurrence process pursuant to Article 110(3) of the Constitution could not be demonstrated by the time the High Court gave the judgment. As such, the bills ought to be aligned to Article 110 of the Constitution, following which the bills will be read a first time in the Senate. In view of the foregoing, the said 3 bills, as received from the National Assembly, will not be proceeded with in the Senate. I thank you. Next order. So, Senator Abdullahi, what? Okay.
On the cancer prevention, because there's one we had and we have finalized with it and sent to them. Now that you have stated, that way I support and I'm in. Thank you, sir.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Senator Ali. Okay, you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I hereby present to the Senate a petition by Mr. Osman Idris Mohammed concerning administrative malpractices in the county government of Wajir. Honorable Senators, the salient issues raised in the petition are the governor. One, the governor has been acting in complete disregard of the gender equality, especially in regards to recruitment of senior officials in the county. There are only 6 female chief officers against 23 male chief officers in the county. Number 2, that the governor has violated Chapter 6 of the Constitution on the leadership and integrity by promoting unfair practices, including unlawfully making payments to the National Security and Investigative Office with the intention of compromising them, promoting conflict of interest by awarding contracts to companies that belong to his immediate family members, and also favoring the said companies in terms of payment for awards of contract. 3, that the governor has been acting in disregard of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, while the act requires county treasuries to consolidate all cash plans from different departments, which form the basis of the requisition for exchequer releases, which the county treasuries then prepare Form A to request for the release of funds from the Office of the Controller of the Budget. This process has not been adhered to in Wajir County and has resulted in loss of public funds in the county. 4, that the governor has been acting in disregard of Section 53 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposals Act 2015, which states that no procuring entity may structure procurement as 2 or more procurements for the purposes of avoiding the use of a procurement procedure except when prescribed. This has resulted in procurement irregularities in Wajir County and split payments for the same works. 5, that the governor has violated the human resource policies and procedures with the values and principles of the public service under Article 232 of the Constitution. The governor has deliberately gone against the county public service board's interview outcome in the nomination of chief officers by nominating candidates who failed to attend interviews, ignoring performance, merit, and gender equity, as well as unfair selection process. This has resulted in unfair employment practices in the county. Number 6, that the petitioners have made the best efforts to have these matters addressed by the relevant authorities, all of which have failed to give a satisfactory response. The petitioners, therefore, praise that the Senate investigates these matters with a view to ensuring that the governor is held accountable and that sanity is restored in Wajir County. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order number 231, I shall now allow comments, observations, or clarifications in relation to the petition for not more than 30 minutes. Senator Farhia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. From what my senator has submitted, there are a lot of serious issues and allegations. And Mr. Speaker, I request that you refer this petition to Finance Committee, because from the discussion that the senator had submitted, it sounds like there's a lot of financial malpractices. And Mr. Speaker, I request that this petition is referred to Finance Committee so that we do justice to it. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Cheriot.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a very worrying trend if you follow what Senator for Wajir is raising with regards to ongoings in his county. And in accordance with Article 96, Mr. Speaker, where as a House, our primary duty and responsibility is to be defenders of devolution and to ensure that it is entrenched as a culture and as our governance practice in our country, Mr. Speaker. This House finds itself right in the middle of the path where we can either aid the winding up of counties through such practices, or we can put it a stop by standing firm, urging that the relevant committee which we shall task to handle this matter guides this House on how we are going to prosecute the issues that have been raised. Mr. Speaker, because we understand it's not all county assemblies that have the capacity to put governors on check, Mr. Speaker. All of us live in this country, and we know what is happening in our various county assemblies, why it is impossible for certain county assemblies to get their governors be put to task and explain how they're using the resources that we fight so hard with our colleagues from the National Assembly to ensure that they are devolved to the various counties, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, if you find the senator for Wajir taking the trouble to follow this particular path, then it tells you there is a problem, Mr. Speaker. And I do hope that our colleagues, I don't know which committee you will prescribe this particular petition to be handled in, Mr. Speaker, but I hope our colleagues do justice to the residents of Wajir, that they ensure that these issues that have been raised are either proved, confirmed or dismissed with facts, Mr. Speaker, or otherwise. Otherwise, as a House, we will have failed in our primary responsibility, and we will not have a raison d'etre, Mr. Speaker, if I may put it that way, because I know that later on today we shall, Mr. Speaker, not to anticipate debate, but we shall be discussing about membership of committee to the CPIC. And if you do recall, Mr. Speaker, you know my position on that particular issue. I have always felt that the way we have handled audit report of various counties by way of a committee doesn't work for me. I would wish that we had a committee of the whole where you cluster senators into 4 or 5 groups, and as a Senate committee where you are 10 of you, each one of you presents the audit report of your specific county, so that your governor appears before you, not just the invitation that you normally get from a clerk of a committee and you are told, oh, your governor will be appearing before CPIC tomorrow, please come and listen in. And sometimes even when you go there because you're a stranger, you're not so accustomed to how that committee is run, you are not allowed to ask the relevant questions, Mr. Speaker. This trend that is being set by our colleagues from Wajir is one that will help us achieve more on oversight. And I would be keen to follow up and ensure that I want to urge my colleague, Senator Dr. Abdullahi, to ensure that when this matter is being prosecuted before that committee, that he takes a keen interest, so that eventually when we get a report back into this House makes a decision whether or not that actually is not the best route to prosecute audit reports and emerging issues of governance that are rising in our counties. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, we shall only be a house of lamentation. I know each of us, we had a discussion the other day, Mr. Speaker, about how our various counties spent the COVID-19 mitigation funds. And in each county, you know very well the things that have happened. If we are to wait for audit report, perhaps they'll come to this house in 2023. By that time, how relevant, how useful will they be? Most of the governors who will have pilfered those resources will not even be in office to answer to those charges, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, I agree to this route that is being taken by our colleague and urge that instead of the mandatory 60 days, Mr. Speaker, if you can urge them to conclude perhaps even in the next 2 to 3 weeks and report back to this House, that will be a great justice to the people of Wajir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kwamboka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me add on this issue of the Wajir. It is very sad that we are hearing that there are frustrations from the residents of the Wajir people concerning the mismanagement of the funds. Mr. Speaker, it is very sad. Right now, we know what is happening in this country. We have Corona at hand. It is very sad. Instead of the county even realizing on how to manage the funds and use it in appropriate manner. And Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the gender parity, we've been told there are only 6 females from the 23, and we have 23 male as the chief officers. It is so wrong. It is very bad. They don't observe the gender, that gender. Mr. Speaker, it is so sad that they are spending that money using to the security instead of paying the contractors. Mr. Speaker, the contractors are people who are using their funds. They've taken loans from the banks and they need to pay. Those frustrations should not be allowed in such counties, Mr. Speaker. It is so sad, and when that committee, which will be given this mandate, should do justice to the residents of the Wajir County. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Of course, we have a congested standing order. I will leave it at that. And honorable senators, pursuant to standing order number 2321, the petition should be committed to the relevant standing committee for its consideration. In this case, I direct that the petition be committed to the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations. In terms of standing orders number 232, the committee is required in not more than 60 calendar days from the time of reading the prayer to respond to the petitioner by a way of report addressed to the petitioner and laid on the table of the Senate. I thank you. There is another petition. I hereby report to the Senate that a petition has been submitted through the clerk by Justice Chai Mbaru and others who are citizens of the Republic of Kenya and residents of Buxton Estate in Mvita, Mombasa County. As you are aware, under Article 119(1) of the Constitution, I quote, every person has a right to petition Parliament to consider the matter within its authority, including enacting, amending, or repealing any legislation. Honorable Senators, the salient issues raised in the petition are one, that the petitioners who are residents of Buxton Estate in Mvita constituency in Mombasa County until 5th March 2021 when they were forcefully evicted by the Mombasa County Government Inspectorate personnel. Two, that sometime in 2016, the Mombasa County Government under Vision 2035 ought to be redeveloped all housing estates in the county and replace them with modern dwellings. Buxton Estate was one of the estates earmarked for redevelopment under Vision 2035 strategy document. The residents went to court to challenge the project on grounds that there was no public participation before approval of the project and the resettlement plan. Three, that the Land and Environment Court in Mombasa ordered the developer to provide a detailed resettlement plan, but this did not happen, nor did the project take off following the court order. That sometime in 2020, a new developer was awarded the tender for the project. The contract between the county government and the new developer has been shrouded in mystery, and residents' effort to seek information on the new contract from the country government have been fruitless. However, the new developer engaged the residents, but the issues raised by the residents have never been addressed. The residents went to court to hold further action on the project until their issues were addressed. That on 4th March 2021, the Land and Environment Court dismissed the application for injunction by the residents and on 5th March 2021, the County Inspectorate Department commenced the demolition of housing structures within the estate with many residents yet to sign the resettlement agreement and or receive their compensation checks. That there was no notice for eviction, demolition of structures within the estate issued by the Mombasa County government. This action amounts to violation of human rights and dignity of the residents. That the residents have previously sought the intervention of the Mombasa County Assembly and courts in a bid to stop the demolition, but there has been no response from the County Assembly and courts dismissed their application for injunction. 6, that there is currently no pending matter before any court of law or other constitutional or legal bodies. Honorable Senators, pursuant, the petitioners therefore pray that the Senate intervenes with a view to addressing their plight, assisting in halting the demolition and eviction exercise, assist in ensuring adequate compensation and having their concerns raised on the project addressed. Honorable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order 231, I shall now allow comments, observation, and clarification in relation to the petition for not more than 30 minutes. Senator Olekina.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you. I rise to support the petitioner, and largely so, maybe seek that the committee that will be dealing with this matter try to look at the whole concept of compulsory land acquisition and also the issue of public participation. Mr. Speaker, I know this House has been dealing with the issue of passing the legislation on public participation. I know there was a piece of legislation which was sponsored by the distinguished senator from Busia, former Attorney General Amos Wako, and that legislation has never really come to become a piece of law. I think it's about time that we really define this issue of public participation. The issue of public participation is affecting many people, coupled together with the issue of compulsory acquisition. When you look at even in the energy sector, Mr. Speaker, there's so much that this country is losing in terms of conflict between the residents and also the citizen. When you now have a petition that has been submitted by a justice of a High Court of Kenya, you really find that we are, they find themselves between a rock and a hard place. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like to really encourage and beseech the committee that you'll task that report on, that petition, to really come in with a view of having a solution to, one, the issue of expediting the public participation legislation, and more so, the issue of bringing dialogue on the table. Because when a county comes in and demolish property, where do they expect people to be able to go? We have to be doing things in this country with a view of having solutions. Mr. Speaker, Ketrako is having serious problems because farmers are not allowing them to go through their land. People are standing there and saying, no, you cannot do this. Now, that's one institution because they're saying there's no public participation, there's no compensation. Now you're talking about a government entity. You're talking about these citizens going to the assembly to seek, redress there, and they're not able to get anything. Their plight is not heard. So this Senate must actually come up now and resolve this matter. And I hope, Mr. Speaker, that this is not just going to be the regular things that we do here. 60 days, we hear the matter, we give the petitioner a response. I think the key most important is, what are we going to do to solve this problem? So, Mr. Speaker, this issue of petitions, we must take them seriously. It should not just be written in the law that every Kenyan has a right to come in. And when they come in and they petition this Senate, we deal with it in a very casual way, where we know that really when they came here because they believe that the buck stops here. So, Mr. Speaker, I support that petition of the residents of Mombasa, and I hope that even the county government of Mombasa can sit down. I want to call upon my friend, Governor Joho, to come, sit down with the assembly, look at the people who are saying there's no public participation, involve them, compensate them, let people live. These are very hard times. We're going through a pandemic. So you are leaving people out there homeless, and you are saying that we are leaders. We are not. So, Mr. Speaker, I support this petition, and I hope that this is going to be different and things will be done differently than we are used to doing them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Musurve.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to comment on this very important statement. Honorable Speaker, the action by the county government of Mombasa was really very feelingless for the residents of Mombasa. Because, Honorable Speaker, the county government needs to give a service to wananchi out there. And if there's any issue on eviction, it ought to have been acceptable by the community. If there's any development that was going to actually take place to elevate or raise the standards of the people of Mombasa, then the county government needed to give a hearing to the people of Mombasa, and they accept, so that if there's any kind of compensation that they're going to get, the compensation, Honorable Speaker, needs to be market value oriented, Honorable Speaker. Because sometimes, Honorable Speaker, wananchis are given compensation that cannot even take them anywhere. Like it happened in Kibera at one point. Residents were given compensation of 10,000.
Let's consult in low tones,
Honorable Speaker, I want to say that it is time the Senate stood up for the people of this country to ensure that the vulnerable, those who are weak, are even given a hearing, Honorable Speaker, so that they're not just evicted from their land like that, Honorable Speaker. There's need to ensure that the essence of devolution is actually working in the counties. So there's need for the county government, Honorable Speaker, to come and actually say before even the Senate, the committee where you're going to direct why they did this and what measures they put in place to ensure that even when they're developing Mombasa, these residents were not affected adversely, Honorable Speaker. Because there are families there, there's psychological impact, there's also the mental issue that Senator Kasaga has always talked about in this House, Honorable Speaker. So you can imagine all those families are mentally affected, Honorable Speaker. We must stand as a Senate and see how to support the residents of Mombasa. Thank you for the opportunity.
Senator Cherargei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think from the onset I want to support this petition by Mombasa residents. I've been following this issue keenly, Mr. Speaker. I remember when we visited Mombasa some times back. And in 2016, the courts ordered that Mombasa County government complies with the United Nations on the displacement of people. Unfortunately, there was no public participation, Mr. Speaker. It is surprising that the developer who was given, after retendering of the process, who was given to the award, only did public participation, but not the county government of Mombasa. So it is very sad, Mr. Speaker, that there was no public participation that was done, number one. Number two, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of, even after retendering, there was non-response to that bid because only one bidder was put in place. Mr. Speaker, thirdly, is you have to know that the agreement between the county government of Mombasa and the bidder who won that tender of developing that house projects is a secret, which is violating Article 35 on the right to access to information that has been provided by the courts of law, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, third and finally is no one has really, when the people of that Buxton area was being relocated, Mr. Speaker, they did not see the fine print when they were signing the checks. They were just being told, sign here, sign there, yet they did not get the fine print of the resettlement, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, finally, what I can say is that we saw building of National Housing Corporation of Kibra, Pumwani. The process was done seamlessly. What is so different, Mr. Speaker, of doing the same in Mombasa County? And I want to urge the county government of Mombasa, even as the committee handles this, that they must look at this issue very properly, because now if we allow Mombasa issue to continue, Mr. Speaker, without control, it means many counties, Mr. Speaker, will be having the process. And you saw on Saturday, Mr. Speaker, finally, the people of Njiru, more than 1,000 here in Njiru in Nairobi, more 1,000 families were evicted, and you could go people going mad because the millions and millions of shillings of houses. You remember even during the pandemic, the eviction, more than 8,000 people were displaced during curfew and pandemic in July 2020. So, Mr. Speaker, if we don't, as a Senate, pronounce ourselves and handle this issue within the law and ensure that the agencies such as the national government, the county government, must be reprimanded from doing within, because we have eviction and settlement law that is in place. Why is it allowed to be domiciled or not to be functional, Mr. Speaker? And I think going forward, I urge that the Buxton housing petition should be taken seriously, and the county government of Mombasa the person who won that tender, and we know him very well, Mr. Speaker, should stop until the process and other issues of human rights. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I would want to request that the Human Rights Committee and the Finance and Budget Committee should be there, because there were human rights violations. People were denied access to this information. This document of agreement between the bidder, between County Government of Mombasa and the person who won the tender, Mr. Speaker, has always been a secret, contravening the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, I think this issue must be handled properly so that Kenyans do not continue to suffer. We don't want to take Kenyans where Senator Kasanga has always insisted that we have mental illness. I saw people in Jiru crying, wailing because of the many millions. And you can imagine the depression and mental issues that are affecting such families of more than 1,000 that did happen in Jiru, we are within Nairobi County. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Wetangula Moses.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for an opportunity to support the petition by Mr. Justus on the Buxton Estate redevelopment. Mr. Speaker, the issue of regeneration and redevelopment of old estates is a very good one. The problem is that it is the mystery around this redevelopment and the eventual disenfranchising of people and families that have lived in these estates and houses for years that is worrying. I'm quite sure, Mr. Speaker, my good friend Governor Hassan Joho, if he was going to seek another mandate from the people of Mombasa, he would have handled this matter differently. But now that he's on his way out, he has been a bit lax in dealing with this matter. I want to urge the committee that you are going to assign this petition, probably the Committee of Lands, chaired by my good friend Senator Kidiomi, not to sit in boardrooms in Nairobi and invite witnesses to move to the site, to go to Buxton in Mombasa and meet the complaining Kenyans who have lived in this estate for years and find out why public participation was not done and the agenda behind the redevelopment that looks like it's going to dispossess the original owners of these houses, continuing enjoyment of the houses. Mr. Speaker, in this country, we have such callous developers. Even when we talked of slum upgrading in Kibera, in Nairobi, the eventual beneficiaries were not the slum dwellers. It was rich people who got houses and started renting them out. And we have this upgrading going on all over the country. I would want to encourage the ministry responsible for housing to pick a leaf from Indonesia and Malaysia, countries that have done slum upgrading, redeveloped their poor neighborhoods and benefited each and everybody. In this country, Mr. Speaker, you will find that the people of Buxton, after redevelopment, will then pushed off to go and squat in Kembeni near the dump sites and have serious health compromises. So, Mr. Speaker, this is a good petition, and Senator Kidiomi and your community, if you are the ones going to be assigned this, Mombasa is not closed down. We expect you to be in Buxton Estate in the next 1 week to make sure Kenyans get justice, fairness, and they don't continue getting a raw deal from uncaring leaders. Thank you.
Senator Mtula Kilonzo Jr.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise to support this petition. But similarly, just like in the case of Kisumu, the demolitions, Mr. Speaker, the greatest violation of Kenyans' rights is the unlawful eviction during a pandemic without notice, and in like case of Buxton, obviously done in connivance with the county government of Mombasa for reasons that can only be for private profit or other things. Mr. Speaker, Senator Wetangula is right that if the governor was seeking a second term, he would not have allowed these things to happen. But since he's leaving, he can allow these things to happen. Mr. Speaker, that part of the Constitution that allowed the county governments to hold land in trust for the people of their counties is being violated. And there was a reason. The reason was that it was thought that then the county governments would protect the interests of the people it's holding this land in trust for. But they don't do it. The developments that you see, some of them in Nairobi, and those who witnessed the development that was next to the house of the late Haji should be warned that these sort of developments are a danger to cities, they are a danger to ordinary Kenyans. But in this particular case, Mr. Speaker, you can see that there's a portion where even the judiciary appears to be leaning towards these entrepreneurs and these people who are obviously very rich and who want to do development, which are not going to benefit the people who it should. Mr. Speaker, the developments that were in a place called the proposed Mbotela and others in Nairobi were not done because it was proposed that they would take over the land and do high-rise buildings, which didn't happen because at the time that they wanted to do these developments, of course, the people of Nairobi and the people of those areas went to court and stopped those developments. And I hope, Senator Githiomi, you will not be overwhelmed because you are overwhelmed, but don't be, because God will bless you when you bless the hands of these people who are in Mombasa, who are poor, who don't have anything, who want to be thrown out, so that the flats that are eventually constructed are not affordable to the people who live there. Same thing happened in Kibera. Those properties ended up in the hands of rich people, rich landlords. The people in Kenya who cannot make noise, cannot pay for high lawyers, cannot afford good legal representation, cannot then afford those houses. Mr. Speaker, while the committee is investigating this thing, we must revisit the question of legal aid. And we must revisit the question of the public getting good legal representation where they cannot afford good lawyers. And we must investigate why a court cannot find it warranted to issue an injunction. The court is issuing injunctions over everything, including the president should not assign to BBI, but they cannot issue an injunction to stop ordinary Kenyans from being evicted. It is a contradiction in terms. And I hope that you can get to the bottom of it and save these people from being harassed. The senator of Mombasa, Faki, had requested, Mr. Speaker, and I wanted to mention this, to be part and parcel of this proceeding today. But the proceeding today is not hybrid. And therefore, from Mombasa, he can only watch us, yet he wanted to participate. So the Secretariat must check this, because the voice of Senator Faki should have been heard in this petition. Thank you.
Senator Ochila Yako.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand in solidarity with the petitioners. And Mr. Speaker, when such a matter has to come to Parliament, it means that there is carelessness, it means that there is unkindness and selfishness on the part of those who are doing it and the institutions responsible. Mr. Speaker, I once had the privilege of being Minister for Energy, and people had squatted under power lines. We had gotten money as a nation to upgrade those power lines, and I attempted to have those people evicted. The donors, including World Bank, who had offered that money, stopped and told me that we were not behaving like government. Government must always answer the issue as to where the evictees will go. You cannot just evict people who are Kenyans and expect them to disappear, expect them to hibernate. They are Kenyans, and when they are squatters, they are your squatters, and as a government, you must provide resources and monies to shelter them, money to make sure that they do not suffer. Otherwise, you become a gangster government. So, Mr. Speaker, it is important as representatives of counties and as representatives of people to get the county government and the national government to tell us where these people are going. They cannot flee from Kenya and become refugees in another place. They cannot invade other parcels that are rightly owned by those who own those parcels. So it is upon the government to do development, and if they are doing development, to take sufficient steps to resettle the people who are affected by these developments. So, Mr. Speaker, until the question of where these people are being taken to and the quality of life they will lead wherever they are being taken to under Article 43 of the Constitution as read together with Article 40, I think we are a bandit government, we are a bandit nation, and we are very unkind to people we should be responsible for. So I support this petition, and I ask the committee to treat this matter as very urgent. We have COVID now. If you take COVID and add anxiety and shelterlessness, you are actually ruining the lives of people and their dependents. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, Honorable Senators, we have to make progress. Honorable Senators, pursuant to Standing Orders number 2321, the petition is hereby committed to the Standing Committee on Roads and Transport. In terms of Standing Orders number 232, the committee is required in not more than 66 calendar days from the time of reading the prayer to respond to the petitioner by way of a report addressed to the petitioner and laid on the table of the Senate. I thank you. Honorable Senators, I want to rearrange the order paper for the convenience of the House and propose that we go to order number 8, 9, 10, up to 12, then come back to statements to order number 7. So next order. Here. Next order.
Order number 8, the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 7 of 2021, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the equitable division of revenue raised nationally between the national and county governments in 2021-22 financial year and for connected purposes. First reading.
Next order.
Order number 9, the Investment Promotion Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2021, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Investment Promotion Act and for connected purposes.
Okay, Honorable Senators, before the next, take your seat. Before we go to the next order, I have a communication on the call to adjourn the ordinary sittings of the Houses of Parliament to facilitate containment of the spread of the COVID-19 global pandemic. Honorable Senators, on Friday, 26 March 2021, an extraordinary meeting of the three arms of government was convened at State House, Nairobi, to receive reports on the status of the COVID-19 pandemic situation in the country from the National Emergency Response Committee on COVID-19. At the meeting, Parliament was one of the institutions identified that had recorded a high infection rate as per the data availed during the meeting. As a mitigation measure, Parliament, both National Assembly and the Senate, were urged to suspend their sittings until such a time that the rate of infection is brought under control. A number of other measures to contain the spread of the pandemic were deliberated upon and a resolution made on the way forward. Honorable Senators, let me reiterate that from the figures given at the meeting, we are facing a grave situation that should be taken very seriously for everyone. For instance, as at yesterday, Monday, 29th March 2021, the positivity rate hit a shocking 26.6%. What this means is that for every 100 people tested, over a quarter or more than 26 were found to be infected by the virus. The Cabinet Secretary for Health has raised the alarm that the healthcare system is at risk of being overwhelmed by the pandemic, leading to lack of basic supplies such as oxygen, enough has been said, such as oxygen. Enough has been said about the situation of the ICU beds. The decision to put sittings on hold is not unique or isolated to our country. Since the virus was declared a pandemic in March 2020, parliaments in all regions of the globe have been affected and their sittings disrupted in one way or the other. For instance, as recent as February 2021, the Parliament of Ghana was suspended for weeks after several members and staff tested positive for the virus. Subsequent to the meetings, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, CGH, made a national address on the COVID-19 pandemic situation in Kenya. Among other measures instituted to contain the spread of the pandemic, the President, following consultations with the leadership of Parliament and upon the advice of the National Security Council and the National Emergency Response Committee on COVID-19, called upon the National Assembly and the Senate to effect the above decision to suspend respective ordinary sittings in accordance with the respective Houses' standing orders. Honorable Senators, for the avoidance of doubt, Standing Order number 28-1 of the Senate states that except for the session commencing immediately after a general election, regular sessions of the Senate shall commence on the second Tuesday of February and terminate on the first Thursday of December. Standing Order 29-1 provides for the determination of the Senate calendar by the Senate. Additionally, Standing Order number 29-4 provides a mechanism for the Senate to alter its calendar or the adjournment date by a way of a resolution. Consequently, in the supplementary order paper for today, at order number 10, the Senate Majority Leader will move a motion whose effect will be to further alter the Senate calendar for the 5th session so as to adjourn today, Tuesday 30th March 2021 until Tuesday 11th May 2021 as one of the mitigating measures to minimize human contact and exposure and to contain the spread of the pandemic. Honorable Senators, in line with the measures instituted by His Excellency the President for the containment of the spread of the pandemic, I direct that all meetings of select committees of the Senate will only take place virtually pursuant to Standing Order number 252A of the Senate. All physical meetings, including field and county visits, are hereby suspended until further notice. There will be no exception to this directive, and any requests to hold in-person meetings will not, in capital letters, be approved by the Speaker. I urge all committees to fast-track any business using the mechanism provided under Standing Order number 252A, particularly bills and petitions. I thank you. Senator Wetangula.
Mr. Speaker, I note the foreclosure in your statement that the no is in capital letters. Mr. Speaker, we all want to participate in the measures to control the spread of this virus. But we need also, Mr. Speaker, to be brought to speed and knowledge on what steps are being taken. A close down and a suspension of sittings is not in itself a measure that is good enough to control. I want to urge, Mr. Speaker, I did not know that Parliament was involved in arriving at the decision. I'm happy to learn that you are, because many of us were very surprised that there was a direction from the executive on how Parliament should operate. If you are involved, that allays our fears of possible emasculation of the Houses of Parliament. But Mr. Speaker, I want to urge, I don't see the Committee of Health chair here, but I believe that this and whatever we say here through the Majority Leader can reach the executive. We have closed down 5 counties. What else are we doing apart from closing down? One would have expected then the government to carry out massive compulsory testing and vaccinations of residents of these counties as a positive measure in controlling the spread of this virus. Because when we close down Nairobi, Nakuru, Kiambu, Machakos, Kajiado, we literally have locked in about 10 million Kenyans, if not slightly more. What next after that? We were given a clarification that within these 5 counties, you can move from Machakos to Kiambu through Nairobi, wherever, without any hindrance. Then it means we have zoned off an area and then created a situation for rapid spread. Because if these are the areas that are most affected, and we are not guaranteeing people to stay where they are, I will move from where I live in Karen to Mwaura's Ruiru and spread the virus if I have it, and vice versa. And this is not helpful, Mr. Speaker. I want to urge you, Mr. Speaker, as the titular head of this House, to reach out to the executive and find out whether there are measures, A, to mass test everybody, 2, to vaccinate everybody, 3, and more important, Mr. Speaker, eateries have been closed. The presumption is that people will eat from their homes. But there are people whose livelihoods are dependent on running these small businesses called eateries. There was a fund to support coronavirus victims in terms of economic terms. I had a bishop yesterday, Mr. Speaker, who was addressing the president and the nation, saying that a woman called Mwihaki told him that she was running a small eatery that is now closed. Her husband, who was living on her, has run away from her. She has a child. She has no job. She can't live. And there are so many Mwihakis in these 5 counties, Mr. Speaker. How are they going to survive? The young single mothers who serve in restaurants, bars, and hotels, how are they going to feed their families? The landlords in this country are very ruthless. No landlord will listen to any tenant that because of the close down, you will not pay your rent. They will evict them. There are even crude landlords who will go and remove doors from dwelling houses and put on padlocks that nobody can open. We must have measures, and I want to urge the president, just as his measures may be well-founded and in good faith, but a lot more must be done. And my friend, the majority leader who represents the executive in this House, must tell us in very clear terms, what else are we doing apart from closure so that we can help Kenyans? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, since there is a substantive motion on the same, you will have an opportunity. Yeah, you are going to have an opportunity to comment on the. I think that's a more neat way to go other than going back. So order, Senator Cheriot. I seek your indulgence that really we have a substantive motion, and you are going to be given an opportunity to contribute. So before I call the leader to move, let's go to order number 5 and 6.
Order number 5, papers.
Chair Health Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay the first progress report on the Standing Committee on Health on the COVID-19 pandemic situation in Kenya on the table of the Senate. In the report, the committee canvassed a broad range of issues relating to the COVID-19 pandemic situation.
Chair, just table. You don't have to say more.
They are there. Yeah.
It's table and the others, okay.
Yeah. Number 2. Mr. Speaker, number 2, I beg to lay the second progress report of the Standing Committee on Health on the COVID pandemic situation in Kenya on the table of the Senate. And the third one, Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay the report on the Standing Committee on Health on the death of the late Professor Ken Walibora due to the alleged negligence at the Kenyatta National Hospital. And I thank you.
Chair Cohesion. Chair Health to continue.
Speaker, yes, okay.
Yes.
Thank you,
yeah.
Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, Tuesday, 30th March, 2021. In the report, bills and regulation adopted at the first meeting of the 4th session of the 4th Assembly of the East Africa Community. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay.
Okay. Chair Health.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay the following report on the table. Report on Standing Committee on Health on the inquiry into the allegation regarding irregularities in the procurement of various pharmaceutical equipments and produce by the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, KEMSA.
Senator Ledama, you can give the notice of motion? Yeah. After that, okay. Next order.
Adoption of the report of the Standing Committee on Health on the alleged negligence of the late Professor Ken Walibora prior to his death at the Kenyatta National Hospital. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Health on the alleged negligence of the late Professor Ken Walibora prior to his death at the Kenyatta National Hospital, laid on the table of the Senate today, Tuesday, the 30th March 2021. That's number 1. Can you give me that one? I don't have the other one. Yeah, give me that one. Okay, can you give me the other? Mr. Speaker, sir, I also rise to give notice. I beg to lay the no, this is a give me the other one for this report. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that the Senate adopts a report of the Standing Committee on Health on inquiry into the allegation regarding irregularities in the procurement of various pharmaceutical equipment and products by the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, KEMSA, laid on the table of the Senate today, Tuesday, 30th March 2021. And finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Health on the first progress report on the COVID-19 pandemic situation, laid on the table of the Senate today, Tuesday, 30th March 2021.
Okay, Majority Leader, you can move your notice of motion.
But then, yes. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion. that notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on the 16th February 2021, approval of the Senate calendar, and on 24th March 2021, alteration of the Senate calendar, pursuant to Standing Order 29.4, the Senate resolves to further alter the Senate calendar regular sessions of the Senate in respect of Part 2, so as to adjourn on Tuesday, 30th March 2021, and to resume sittings on Tuesday, 11th of May 2021, in accordance with the resolution made on the 24th March 2021, and that pursuant to Standing Order 31.3 A and B, the morning sitting of Tuesday, 30th March 2021 be held until conclusion of business appearing on the order paper. I thank you. Speaker, I also beg to give notice of the following motion: that pursuant to Standing Orders 184.1D and 189.3, the Senate approves the nomination of Senator Justice Retired Stuart Nazayo MP to serve in the Senate Business Committee to replace Senator Cleophas Malala MP. The Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion: that pursuant to Standing Orders numbers 189, 219, 2020, and 2021, the Senate approves the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the sessional committees of the Senate as follows. Sorry about that. Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion: that pursuant to Standing Orders numbers 189, 219, 220, and 221, the Senate approves the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the sessional committees of the Senate as follows. A, Committee on County Public Accounts and Investment. 1, Senator Engineer Hargura Godana MP. 2, Senator Njeru Ndwiga EGH MP. 3, Senator Adan Dulo Fatuma CBS MP. 4, Senator Kimani Wamatangi MP. 5, Dr. Christopher Langat MP. 6, Dr. Ochilo Ayako MP, EGH MP. 7, Senator Professor Imana Malaki Charles Ekal MP. 8, Senator Johannes Mwaruma MP. And 9, Senator Mercy Chebeni MP. B, Committee on Delegated Legislation. Committee on Delegated Legislation. 1, Senator Anwar Lloyd Tip MP. 2, Senator Samuel Losron Pogisho EGH MP. 3, Senator Farhia Haji Ali MP. 4, Senator Mary Yane Senator MP. 5, Senator Halaki Abshiro MP. 6, Senator Agnes Kabindu Mudhama MP. 7, Senator Judith Pareno MP. 8, Senator Eric Okongo Mogeni Senior Counsel MP. 9, Senator Mwenyehaji Mohamed Faki MP. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, let's go to order number 13. Order, Senator Murkomen. Next order number 13.
Order number 13, motion, adoption of report of the Sessional Committee on County Public Accounts and Investments on audit reports for county executives for financial year 2014-15, 1st July 2014 to 30th June 2015, division.
Director, the bell be rung for 3 minutes. Okay, take your seats, honorable senators. Take your seats. Take your seats. Senator, take your seats. Unless you want to, okay, those who are standing will remain standing. Honorable senators, I now put the question, which is that this House adopts the report of the Sessional Committee on County Public Accounts and Investments on the consideration of the audit reports of Bomet, Homa Bay, Isiolo, Kakamega, Kiambu, Laikipia, Kisumu, Mandera, Migori, Mombasa, Murang'a, Nandi, Nyeri, Samburu, Siaya, Tana River, Tharaka Nithi, Trans Nzoia, Turkana, Wajir County executives for the financial year 2014-2015, 1st July 2014 to 30th June 2015, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 18th February 2021. Will they tell us? Okay, we can proceed with the voting.
Senator Adan Dulo Fatuma, Isiolo County.
I vote yes.
Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim, Wajir County.
I vote yes.
Senator Boy Issa Juma, Kwale County. Senator Cherarke Samson Kiprotich, Nandi County.
I vote yes.
Senator Cheruiyot Aaron Kipkirui, Kericho County.
I vote yes.
Senator Hargura Godana, Marsabit County.
Mr. Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Imana Malaki Charles Ekal, Turkana County. Senator Kajwang Moses Otieno, Homa Bay County. Senator Kamar Margaret Jepkoech, Wasingishu County. Senator Chebeni.
I vote yes.
Senator Kangata Irongo, Muranga County. Senator Haniri George, Vihiga County.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I vote yes.
Senator Kibiru Charles Rubenson, Kirinyaga County. Senator Kihika Susan Wakarura, Nakuru County.
Senator Wakarura votes yes.
Senator Kimani Wamatangi Paul, Kiambu County.
Mr. Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kindiki Kithure, Tharaka Nithi County. Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim Mwangi Maina, Nyeri County. Senator Langat Christopher Andrew, Bomet County.
I vote yes.
Senator Lelegwe Steve Tumbesi, Samburu County.
I vote yes.
Senator Linturi Franklin Mithika, Meru County. Senator Loitiptip Anwar, Lamu County.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I vote yes.
Senator Madzayo Stewart Mwachiru, Kilifi County. Senator Madzayo Stewart Mwachiru, Kilifi County.
I vote yes.
Senator Mahamud Mohamed Malim, Mandera County. No. Senator Malala Cleophas Wahungu, Kakamega County.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of Kakamega delegation, I vote yes.
Senator Mbito Michael Malinga, Trans Nzoia County. Senator Mbogo George Ochilo Ayako, Migori County.
I vote yes.
Senator Mogeni Eric Okongo, Nyamira County. Senator Moi Gideon Kipsielei Towet, Baringo County. Senator Mpaye Philip Salau, Kajiado County. Senator Murkomen Onesimus Kipchumba, Elgeyo Marakwet County.
I vote yes.
Senator Mudhama Agnes Kavindu, Machakos County.
Mr. Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr., Makueni County.
I vote yes.
Senator Mwangi Paul Githiomi, Nyandarua County.
I vote yes.
Senator Mwaruma Jones Mwashushe, Taita Taveta County. Senator Munyihaji Mohamed Faki, Mombasa County. Senator Nderito John Kinyua, Laikipia County. Senator Ndwiga Peter Njero, Embu County. Senator Olekina Ledama, Narok County.
Mr. Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Ongeri Samson Kegengo, Kisii County. Senator Orengo James, Siaya County.
Mr. Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Outa Frederick Otieno, Kisumu County.
I vote yes.
Senator Pogisio Samuel Losron, West Pokot County.
Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Sakaja Johnson Arthur, Nairobi County.
Mr. Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Wako Sitswila Amos, Busia County. Senator Wambua Enoch Kio, Kitui County.
Mr. Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Wario Golich Juma, Tana River County. Senator Wetangula Moses Masika, Bungoma County.
I vote yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, take your seats, honorable senators. Okay, honorable senators, these are the results of the vote. Abstention 0, nays 0, ayes 26. The ayes have it. Next order. Yeah.
Order number 14, Committee of the Whole, the Mung Beans Bill, Senate Bills, the Mung Beans Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2020. Yeah. Yes, division, apologies.
Honorable Senators, we are proceeding with Committee of the Whole. We need tellers from both sides. A teller from the minority side and the majority side. And we are asking Senator Cherargei, we are asking that you don't leave.
You can ring the bell in the meantime for 5 minutes, 3 minutes maybe.
Can we have tellers? Senator Kwamboka, we need a teller from your side. Senator Faria, we need a Senator Wamatangi, we need a teller from your side. Senator Milgo. Do you need to do the bell?
Yes, you can ring the bell for like 2 minutes.
Senator.
The division is, so we have a set of questions, 3 questions. We will vote on. You will put the questions. We navigated the process.
The bell to be rung for 2 minutes.
The whips to confirm numbers. Just mark.
The bell to ring for 2 minutes. Senator Wamatangi and Senator Mutula. Kindly approach so that we confirm that we have the numbers. Do we have your numbers? The bell to ring for another 2 minutes. The whips. Senator Mutula, Senator Wamatangi, are we okay?
Lock the doors and draw the bars.
Order, Senators. Senator Mutula. Okay. Order, Senators. Order, Senators. Senator Maura. I now order that the bars be drawn. Okay, is it closed? And the doors be closed.
Just draw the bars.
Order, Senators. Order, Senator Sakaja. I now proceed to put the 3 questions. Then all the senators are expected to vote for the 3. Tell us. Dr. Milgo for the majority side, Senator Kwamboka for the minority side. And I now proceed to put the questions. Question for 1, I put the question that new clause 9A, 9B, 9C be now read a second time. 2, clauses without amendments. I put the question that clauses 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 21 be amended as proposed. And 3, all clauses, I put the questions that clause 3, clause 4 is amended, clause 5 is amended, clause 6 is amended, clause 7 is amended, clause 8 is amended, clause 9 is amended, clause 10 is amended, clause 11 is amended, clause 12 is amended, clause 13 is amended, clause 14 to 20, and clause 21 is amended. New clauses 9A, 9B, and 9C, clause 2, the title and the clause, and clause 1 be part of the bill. So, senators, you're expected to vote for 3. 3 votes. Call up the names, please.
Senator Adan Dulo Fatuma, Isiolo County.
You're not on record.
I vote for the 3 yes.
Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim, Wajir County.
I vote 3 yes.
Senator Boy Issa Juma, Kwale County. Senator Cherarkei Samson Kiprotich, Nandi County.
I vote yes for the 3.
Senator Cheriot Aaron Kipkirui, Kericho County.
I vote yes for all 3.
Senator Hargura Godana, Marsabit County.
I vote yes for the 3.
Senator Imana Malaki Charles Ekal, Turkana County. Senator Kajwang Moses Otieno, Homa Bay County. Senator Kamar Margaret Chepkoech, Wasingishu County.
I vote yes for the 3. Thanks.
Senator Kangata Irungu, Muranga County. Senator Haniri George, Vihiga County.
Madam Chair, I vote yes on all the 3 clauses.
Senator Kibiru Charles Rubenson, Kirinyaga County. Senator Kihika Susan Wakarura, Nakuru County. Senator Kimani Wamatangi Paul, Kiambu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for 3.
Senator Kindiki Kithure, Tharaka Nithi County.
I vote yes.
Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim Mwangi
Senator
Maina.
Kihika, we are, not Kihika, Senator Kindiki, we are voting for 3.
Yes, yes, yes.
Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim Mwangi Maina, Nyeri County. Senator Langat Christopher Andrew, Bomet County.
Madam Chair, I vote yes for the 3 counts.
Senator Lelegwe Steve Ltumbesi, Samburu County.
Madam Chair, I vote yes for the 3 clauses.
Senator Linturi Franklin Mithika, Meru County. Senator Loitiptip Anwar, Lamu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 3 clauses. Thank you.
Senator Madzayo Stewart Mwachiru, Kilifi County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 3.
Senator Mahamud Mohamed Maalim, Mandera County. Senator Malala Cleophas Wahungu, Kakamega County.
Madam Chair, on behalf of Kakamega delegation and Senator Dr. Gertrude Msuruve, I vote yes for the 3 clauses.
Senator Mbito Michael Malinga, Trans Nzoia County. Senator Mbogo George Ochilo Ayako, Migori County.
Madam Chair, for the 3 issues available for voting, I vote for each of them yes.
Senator Mogeni Eric Okongo, Nyamira County. Senator Moi Gideon Kipselei Towet, Baringo County. Senator Mpae Philip Salau, Kajiado County. Senator Murkomes Onesimus Kipchumba, Elgeyo Marakwet County.
I vote yes on all the 3 clauses.
Senator Muthama Agnes Kavindu, Machakos County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 3 clauses.
Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr., Makueni County.
I vote yes for all the 3.
Senator Mwangi Paul Githiomi, Nyandarua County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 3.
Senator Mwaruma Jones Mwashushe, Taita Taveta County. Senator Munyihaji Mohamed Faki, Mombasa County. Senator Njeru Nderito John Kinywa, Laikipia County. Senator Ndwiga Peter Njeru, Embu County. Senator Olekina Ledama, Narok County.
I vote yes for the 3.
Senator Ongeri Samson Kegengo, Kisii County.
You're not on mic, Senator Ongeri.
I vote yes all the 3. Thank you.
Senator Orengo James, Siaya County.
I vote yes for the 3.
Senator Outa Frederick Otieno, Kisumu County.
I vote yes for all the 3.
Senator Pogisio Samuel Losron, West Pokot County.
I vote yes for all 3.
Senator Sakaja Johnson Arthur, Nairobi County.
Madam Chair, for the first one, I vote yes. And for the other 2, I also vote yes.
Senator Wako Sitwila Amos, Busia County. Senator Wambua Enoch Kiyo, Kitui County.
Madam Chair, I vote yes for the three.
Senator Wario Golich Juma, Tana River County. Senator Wetangula Moses Masika, Bungoma County.
I vote yes on all the three.
Senator Boy Isa Juma, Kwale County. Senator Imana Charles Ekal, Turkana County. Senator Kajwang Moses.
Yes. On behalf of the Turkana delegation, I vote yes for all the three.
Senator Kajwang Moses Otieno, Homa Bay County. Senator Kangata Irungu, Muranga County. Senator Kibiru Charles Robinson, Kirinyaga County. Senator Kihika Susan Wakarura, Nakuru County. Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim Mwangi, Nyeri County. Senator Linturi Franklin Mithika, Meru County. Senator Mahamud Mohamed Maalim, Mandera County. Senator Mbito Michael Malinga, Trans Nzoia County. Senator Mogeni Eric Okongo, Nyamira County.
Says, I vote yes for the three.
Senator Moi Gideon Kipselei Towet, Baringo County. Senator Mpae Philip Salau, Kajiado County. Senator Mwaruma Jones Mwashushe, Taita Taveta County. Senator Munyihaji Mohamed Faki, Mombasa County. Senator Nderitu John Kinywa, Laikipia County. Senator Ndwiga Peter Njeru, Embu County. Senator Wako Sitwila Amos, Busia County. Senator Wario Gulich Juma, Tana River County.
Good job, tellers. Good job, returning officers.
The results of the division, yes.
So?
29.
Senator Hargura, kindly, we still have one more vote. If we could only be patient. Honorable Senators, the results of the division for the question 1 is 29 yes and 0 no's and 0 abstentions. The same to question 2, the ayes 29, the no's 0, abstention 0. And the same to question 3, the ayes 29, the no's 0, abstention 0. Honorable Senators, we are now reporting progress to by the Committee of the Whole. Mover. Mover is Senator for Kitui.
Thank
Senator
you,
Wambua.
Honorable Chairperson. I beg to move that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the Mung Beans Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2020, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Honorable Senators, I now put the question that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Mung Beans Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2020, and its approval thereof with amendments. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I just bore.
Senator Wambua, we are waiting for you. Okay.
After that,
then Senator Wambua comes in for Mover. Honorable Senators, Honorable Senators, it's time to report. Chairperson, please.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the Mung Beans Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2020, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Thank you. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report.
Honorable Senators, I now propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Honorable Senators, I now put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary say nay? The ayes have it. We are now going to go to division, and can we Senator Wambua, can you move for the third reading?
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Mung Beans Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2020, be now read at that time.
Honorable Senators, I now propose the question that the Mung Beans Bill. Honorable Senators, can we have a second first? Can you ask?
Madam Speaker, I request Senator Faria to second.
Senator Faria.
Madam Speaker, I second.
Honorable Senators, I now propose the question that the Mung Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2020 be now read a third time. Honorable Senators, I now put the question that the Mung Beans Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2020 be now read a third time. Division. We are going to go by roll call. And can we have the two Kangata? Not Kangata. Senator Wamatangi, who are you proposing?
Madam Speaker,
I thought you were proposing Kangata.
The majority whip of the House is Senator Kimani Wamatangi. Just for correction.
I thought you were proposing Senator Kangata. That's why I was wondering where he was, because I didn't see him.
Okay, Madam Speaker, I am proposing that Senator Faria will be our clerk.
Thank you, Senator Faria, for the teller, and the teller from the other side. You have already picked? Yes. Senator Kwamboka. Please throw the bar, 1 minute bell, and then we draw the bars. Honorable Senators, can we now draw the bar? And voting begins.
The Mung Beans Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2020, third reading, division, roll call. Senator Adan Dulo Fatuma, Isiolo County.
I vote yes.
Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim, Wajir County. Senator Boy Issa Juma, Kwale County. Senator Cherarkei Samson Kiprotich, Nandi County.
Since the whip has said, I vote yes.
Senator Cheruiyot Aaron Kipkirui, Kericho County.
I vote yes.
Senator Hargura Godana, Marsabit County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Imana Malaki Charles Ekal, Turkana County.
I vote yes.
Senator Kajwang Moses Otieno, Homa Bay County. Senator Kamar Margaret Chepkoech, Uasin Gishu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kangata Irungu, Muranga County. Senator Haniri George, Vihiga County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kibiru Charles Ribonson, Kirinyaga County. Senator Kihika Susan Wakarura, Nakuru County.
Mezima, oh, okay. I vote yes.
Senator Kimani Wamatangi Paul, Kiambu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kindiki Kithure, Tharaka Nithi County.
I vote yes.
Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim Mwangi Maina, Nyeri County. Senator Langat Christopher Andrew, Bomet County. Senator Lelegwe Steve Lutumbesi, Samburu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Linturi Franklin Mithika, Meru County. Senator Loitiptip Anwar, Lamu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Madzayo Stewart Mwachiru, Kilifi County.
I vote yes.
Senator Mahmoud Mohamed Maalim, Mandera County. Senator Malala Cleophas Wahungu, Kakamega County.
I vote yes.
Senator Mbito Michael Malinga, Trans Nzoia County. Senator Mbogo George Ochilo Ayako, Migori County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mogeni Eric Okongo, Nyamira County.
I vote yes.
Senator Moi Gideon Kipselei Towet, Baringo County. Senator Mpae Philip Salao, Kajiado County. Senator Murkomen Onesimus Kipchumba, Elgeyo Marakwet County.
I vote yes.
Senator Mudhama Agnes Kavindu, Machakos County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr., Makueni County.
I vote yes.
Senator Mwangi Paul Githiomi, Nyandaro County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mwaruma Jones Mwashushe, Taita Taveta County. Senator Munyihaji Mohamed Faki, Mombasa County. Senator Nderitu John Kinywa, Laikipia County. Senator Ndwiga Peter Njeru, Embu County. Senator Olekina Ledama, Narok County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Ongeri Samson Kegengo, Kisii County.
Mr. Speaker, I vote yes. Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Orengo James, Siaya County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Outa Frederick Otieno, Kisumu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Pogisio Samuel Losuron, West Pokot County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Sakaja Johnson Arthur, Nairobi County.
I vote yes.
Senator Wako Sitwila Amos, Busia County. Senator Wambua Enoch Kiyo, Kitui County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Wario Golich Juma, Tana River County. Senator Wetangula Moses Masika, Bungoma County.
You. Is it you? I vote yes, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim, Wajir County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Boy Issa Juma, Kwale County. Senator Kajwang Moses Otieno, Homa Bay County. Senator Kangata Irungu, Muranga County. Senator Kibiru Charles Rubenson, Kirinyaga County. Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim Mwangi Maina, Nyeri County. Senator Langat Christopher Andrew, Bomet County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Linturi Franklin Mithika, Meru County. Senator Mahamud Mohamed Maalim, Mandera County. Senator Mbito Michael Malinga, Trans Nzoia County. Senator Moi Gideon Kipselei Towet, Baringo County. Senator Mpae Philip Salau, Kajiado County. Senator Maruma Jones Mashushe, Taita Taveta County. Senator Munyihaji Mohamed Faki, Mombasa County. Senator Nderitu John Kinywa, Laikipia County. Senator Ndwiga Peter Njeru, Embu County. Senator Wako Switswila Amos, Busia County. Senator Wario Golich Juma, Tana River County.
bill. Honorable Senators, these are the results of the Mung Beans Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2020, the third reading. The ayes 30, the nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the development, regulation, and promotion of the mung beans sector and for connected purposes.
Thank you, Senators. I see some intervention from the mover of the bill, Senator Wambua.
Madam Speaker, for and on behalf of the people of Kitui County, I want to really and sincerely thank the 30 delegations that have voted to pass this bill. The Speaker, I'm very sure that if the other 17 delegations had been accorded an opportunity to vote virtually, they too would have voted yes, 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 as did the Senator for the Rakanidi, Abraham Kithure Kindiki. Madam Speaker, having now passed this bill in the Senate, I want to make a very passionate appeal to the National Assembly that when this bill goes to the floor of the National Assembly for concurrence, they will fast track the passing of this bill, seeing as it were, Madam Speaker, that this bill had concurred with all the requirements for compliance between the two houses of Parliament. Madam Speaker, I hope that the bill will not queue unnecessarily in the National Assembly and that it will be enacted into law to help the millions of farmers across this country. Madam Speaker, I want to make it very clear that this bill seeks to empower dengue farmers, not just in Kitui or Makueni or Machakos, any more than it seeks to empower these farmers in Embu, in Daraka, Nithi, in Taita Taveta, in Meru, in Kirinyaga, in Kajiado, and in all parts of the country where this crop is grown. Madam Speaker, I'm also happy that we have made a bold step towards discussions in this chamber for the establishment of the school feeding program, and this crop, Madam Speaker, will go a long way in assisting, not just in the school feeding program, but also in the National Grain Strategic Reserve. Madam Speaker, with those remarks, I thank the Senate of the Republic of Kenya for standing with dengue farmers across this country. Madam Speaker, I submit.
Thank you, Senator Wambua. Honorable Senators, we now move to the next order.
Order number 10, motion, alteration of the Senate calendar for the 5th session.
Senate Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that, notwithstanding the resolutions of the Senate made on the 16th February 2021, approval of the Senate calendar, and on 24th March 2021, alteration of the Senate calendar, pursuant to Standing Orders 29-4, the Senate resolves to further alter the Senate calendar, regular sessions of the Senate in respect of Part 2, so as to adjourn on Tuesday, 30th March 2021, and to resume sittings on Tuesday, 11th May 2021, in accordance with resolution made on 24th March 2021, and that pursuant to Standing Order 31-3, A and B, the morning sitting of Tuesday, 30th March 2021 be held until conclusion of business appearing on the order paper. Madam Speaker, it is a very critical and straightforward request to members of this House, Madam Speaker, to resolve that we proceed on recess of sorts, a short recess, Madam Speaker, in order for us to deal with the current situation, which is very, very grave in our country, the COVID situation. And Madam Speaker, this is simply to ask that the calendar changes very briefly, Madam Speaker, for those of us who know that we were proceeding to recess anyway on the 16th. We are simply asking that we add the next 2 sittings to this recess, and we proceed until the 11th of May to give room for us to deal with the pandemic, which is so grave. Madam Speaker, the President of the Republic of Kenya revised directions of the 12th March 2021 following the empirical data evidencing the COVID-19 positivity rate of the 3rd wave. And that, Madam Speaker, is what is critical. Right now, all statistics show that many of our members, many of our relatives, many of our friends are suffering from COVID, and that the hospitals are now full, ICU beds are full in most of the big hospitals in this city. And now that 5 of our counties are under total lockdown or partial lockdown, Madam Speaker, we are in Nairobi County. The Parliament of Kenya sits in Nairobi County, and Nairobi County is one of those counties that are under lockdowns. And we feel like we must then, Madam Speaker, listen to even the other arms of government who have also shut down their activities or reduced their activities so that we can go and deal with this pandemic where we are, in our villages or in our counties, and make sure that we assist our people in fighting this pandemic. Among the measures in Order 2 of 2021, the President directed that in accordance with the standing orders of the National Assembly and the Senate, and upon concurrence of the parliamentary leadership of both houses, which we are doing now, and with concurrence of the county leadership, the 2 speakers of parliament do move to effect a suspension of ordinary sittings or ordinary sessions of the august houses, including those of their committees and the ordinary sessions of the county assemblies of Nairobi, Machakos, Kajiado, Kiambu, and Nakuru, until further notice. And as I said, Madam Speaker, because we are in Nairobi County, we fall under this kind of directions. And so, as a house of rules and procedures, Madam Speaker, we must lead by example. This period that we have been given can be used by senators to undertake other constitutional mandates. And I think that as ruled by our own Speaker, committees can continue sitting virtually. And so we can conduct activities virtually. And so we can use this to undertake constitutional mandates that we have. Be ready for numerous bills coming up for the consideration by the Senate. Madam Speaker, because of the urgency of this matter, and we had said that we are going to progress with this motion and other matters today and finish everything that we can today, so that, Madam Speaker, we can adjourn. In conclusion, let me urge all the senators to take up necessary precautions to prevent any spread of the COVID-19 virus, to encourage the citizens, especially the seniors and the young ones, to encourage all who can take up this challenge and help stop the spread. Madam Speaker, there are many things that can be done, and I'm sure that we're going to get more directions from our health ministry during this difficult time. And so, Madam Speaker, in appealing to members, I don't think this should be a matter to convince people about. We all know the seriousness of it. I urge all senators, therefore, to support. Madam Speaker, I beg to move and ask Honorable Orengo, who is a minority leader, to second. Thank you very much.
And in supporting this motion, I want to appreciate the comments that I had the distinguished senator from Bungoma make when the communication was made from the chair. Mr. Speaker, the need for this adjournment cannot be gainsaid. Mr. Speaker, as I was sitting here on listening to the proceedings as they were going on, I have lost 3 people that I know And one of them who is very young. There's a young man I've known for a very long time who runs a clothes shop here in Nairobi. A lot of my colleagues here know him. I spoke to him on Friday, and today he is gone. Our party chairman for ODM in Nakuru, who has been hospitalized in Nairobi Hospital, also is gone this morning. The other thing that we are also hiding from ourselves, is the number of people in both houses who, in one way, in the last 2 months, have gone through tests. And those tests are a matter of public record. I don't know why, this.
Honorable Orengo, you will still have 28 minutes when we resume. We are not, we are only suspending the sitting to enable people go for lunch and recharge.
Is this the same sitting or?
It is the same sitting.
No, it's a different sitting.
We are suspending, according to what the mover gave us, we are only suspending the sitting until 2:30 so that people can have lunch.
No, madam, it's the second sitting because we don't have a resolution yet.
So we are going to meet, therefore, at 2:30. With those remarks, please, let's take our break and come back.
Italy is a melting pot of cultural diversity. Over centuries, many civilizations have influenced Italian culture and have added to its incredibly varied culinary spectrum. Italian regions display their own colloquial cooking and flavor styles. Today, we will discover a taste of Tuscany. Join us as we explore the classic dishes, unique ingredients, and the diverse cultural flavors of Italy. Situated on the Italian peninsula and part of both the European continent and southern Europe, Italy shares its alpine borders with France, Switzerland, Austria, and Slovenia. The food of Italy is famous throughout the world, with dishes like spaghetti, lasagna, and ravioli being found across the globe. But more importantly, the rich variety of regional cooking is alive and well, preserving some of this country's culinary history. Today, we will be exploring the flavors of Tuscany. Considered the birthplace of the Italian Renaissance, Tuscan cuisine is quite unique and even differs between the provinces.
Tuscany is all about food and wine. It's all about the fresh produce, which they'll have homegrown, or they'll get it from the markets, and then they're going to cook it, and they're going to cook it very slowly, and they're going to enjoy it with their family and their friends. They have lots of local vegetables and lots of pork and wild boar, which they make into small goods, and then they will share.
To create a classic pasta dish, of course you need pasta. And rather than pick up some dried spaghetti at the supermarket, to experience the cultural flavours of Italy at home, you're going to need to make fresh pasta yourself.
My first exposure to Italian cooking was in a small restaurant in London that my father used to take me to when I was a kid. And they used to make all their own pasta there, and they had all the wooden boxes with all the various sizes, shapes and colours of fresh pasta. You could just choose whichever pasta you wanted to go with your sauce, and that really excited me and got me interested in Italian cooking.
All you need to make fresh pasta at home is some fine flour, some fresh eggs, and some semolina flour. First, take your flour and gently tip it out onto your workspace. Make sure your hands are dry. Then, using your fingers, make a small well in the flour. Take an egg and gently crack it into the well you've just created. Now the fun starts. Using your fingers, break the yolk so it mixes with the white. Then gently work the egg around in a circular motion. What you are actually doing here is slowly picking up the flour around the edges and drawing it into the moist centre. When the egg and flour start to turn to a firmer paste, add another egg to the mixture and repeat the process. Don't be impatient and get tempted to stir the flour in faster, as this will introduce lumps into your dough that you'll have a hard time working out. As you work your mixture around, it will start to change consistency and the paste will develop into a dough. Keep kneading this dough with the flour until you're satisfied you have a very elastic mix. Be sure your pasta dough is not sticky. If it is, you'll need to add more flour. You will most likely have more flour than you require, so don't feel compelled to use it all. Once you have your dough at the correct texture, use your hands to mold it into a small cob. You will need to rest your dough for at least 30 minutes before you roll it out. Generally, pasta is made with a pasta machine. Take your dough and press it into a small disc. Feed it into the pasta roller, then fold it back onto itself and repeat. Keep rolling the pasta dough out until you have a long, thin sheet of pasta ready for cutting. Now, add your chosen pasta cutter to the pasta machine. Lightly dust your rolled dough with a little semolina and carefully slice your pasta. Once cut, dust your fresh pasta with semolina and put it aside for later. We'll cook our fresh pasta in a fettuccine al funghi later in the show. Anybody who has eaten Italian food will recognize the essential herbs and spices that add unmistakable characteristics to any dish. The most common herb in Italian cooking is basil. Crushed basil leaves combined with oil, garlic, and pine nuts create the famous pesto sauce. Basil is regarded as the perfect complement to the flavor of tomato sauce and works well with pasta. Another herb used widely in Italian cooking is oregano. Offering a complementary flavor to basil, it is also commonly used in tomato-based dishes. Of course, garlic features heavily in Italian cooking right across the country. Fennel seeds lend a distinctive aniseed flavor to roasted meat or fish. Rosemary makes a wonderful addition to roasted meats and vegetables. Often included in salads and dressings, sage is probably most famous as the key herb in saltimbocca. Italian parsley is recognizable by its distinct flat leaf. parsley is used in many meat dishes, soups and stocks. Italian food is most richly flavoured with herbs, but of course some spices do feature prominently. Coarse sea salt is used across the nation, although some regions, like Tuscany, use it very sparingly. Fresh dried black peppercorns, saffron and coriander feature prominently. Nutmeg is used in savoury dishes and desserts, and vanilla is a popular dessert spice. Ginger is rarely used in Italy, although it is very popular in the Apulia and Basilicata regions, showing just how diverse the cultural flavours of Italy are. Still to come on Cultural Flavours, Italy. We turn our freshly made pasta into a delicious mushroom taste sensation, and we discover the secret of making perfect, authentic Italian coffee. In Italy, wild mushrooms have always been a favourite part of the local cuisine. With mushrooms available everywhere, anybody can make this dish at home. You may even want to splash out on a famously expensive ingredient.
The mushrooms have got a beautiful aroma, so they're able to put them in all sorts of dishes. They might cook it up as an omelette for the younger family, or pop it into another slow cooked meal so that it can be used in very many different ways. They'll actually even put them into some sort of cheese, especially the truffles, so that they can continue to have the truffles mature in their lovely cheese.
For this dish, you will need a selection of mushrooms. You can use fresh local varieties or a combination of fresh and dried. You will also need a dash of olive oil and some dry vermouth. First, take your Italian parsley and chop it finely. It's important to use fresh parsley in your pasta dishes, as the dried alternative can lack flavour. Put it aside, as you will need to add it to your dish much later. The next step is to slice your mushrooms. The trick here is to try and keep the size uniform so they cook evenly. Remove your dried mushrooms from the water and squeeze off the excess moisture. Then chop them evenly. Keep the water, you will need it later. Take the stalk of celery and remove the leaves. Chop into lengths, slice along the grain, then finely dice into small blocks to avoid large chunks of this strongly flavoured vegetable masking the delicious mushroom flavours. Next, chop your garlic and slice your red onion. Put the ingredients aside and heat up your pan.
So, to prepare the sauce, we're going to start with a nice fry pan, a little bit of oil. We want the oil to get nice and hot, almost smoking. The first thing we're going to add is our mushrooms, so they get a nice bit of colour on them. Brings out all the nice flavours, so they don't go soggy.
After the fresh mushrooms have braised a little, add the dried mushrooms, then the celery, onion and garlic, and a sprinkle of salt. Reduce the heat and cook it gently to bring out all the combined flavours. Add a dash of vermouth and some of the liquid stock you had the dried mushrooms in, and your Italian sauce will be taking shape. Next, add the butter and cook on a gentle heat with the juices. When the butter emulsifies, it will produce a nice rich sauce. Finally, add your chopped Italian parsley and stir it right through the sauce. Then set it aside to rest while you cook your pasta. Put your heavily salted water on the boil. Ensure that it is a strong rolling boil before adding the fresh pasta you prepared earlier. Stir it around a little to prevent the pasta from sticking together. Fresh pasta won't take long to cook, about 3 to 5 minutes. Drain your pasta in a colander and put your sauce back on the heat. Make sure it is very shiny. You can add more stock or butter to get your sauce to the desired consistency. Add your drained pasta to the sauce in the pan and stir through. Make sure you have covered the pasta entirely with your mushroom sauce. Then you are ready to serve. Grate some Parmigiano Reggiano, commonly known as Parmesan cheese, over the dish. Just enough to give it some bite and some extra saltiness, but not so much it causes the dish to go gluggy. Finally, if you have them, shave some black truffle over the dish just before serving. Now, enjoy your authentic fettuccine al funghi. Italy is said to be one of the healthiest nations on the planet. And this is in large to do with a healthy diet, rich in vegetables and vegetable oils. Of course, the most important vegetable in Italian cooking is the tomato. There are many varieties of tomato that are used in soups, sauces and